So, but how to analyze the conflicts and progress forward? That lessons we can learn from this first chapter, where we are taught how to assess the situation, like Arjuna, how he is assessing the situation. I get the presentation on the screen. Would you like to be the check for it? Can you maximize this? First, let me use the first name. Yeah, this is the first name. Other presentation is the other. Keep this email, this open the other. Screen. Come to the first. So the first topic is Dhritarashtra's inquiry to Sanjaya. So why Sanjaya is a person who is able to see what is happening on the battlefield. Dhritarashtra is blind. Blind means he is not able to understand the reality. So in our life, we have to learn mostly from someone else. That is how it is designed. But the problem with Dhritarashtra was his mind in the sense that he has this conception of me and mine. This belongs to me, this is me. And that is the reason for the entire conflict. So when we start others, when we think that others are helping me, and therefore I also need to give for others, then it's a harmonious situation. So here the word Dhritarashtra means he was so attached to the Rashtra kingdom. He thinks that this world is meant for me to enjoy, for me to control. That makes the person blind. And so blind that he starts distinguishing his sons from the sons of Pandu. Although Pandu was the brother of Dhritarashtra, and his sons, Pandu should have been treated like his own sons. He starts this disparity arose. And then the conflict arises because he wants to put his sons ahead of the sons of Pandu. And the next point is that Duryodhana feels fear. So there are two types of mentality. One is that I will succeed at any cost, at the cost of others. And that is the Duryodhana mentality, that everyone is fighting for me, going to fight for me, and so that I can succeed. And on the contrary, we have Arjuna. He also wants to win or fight, but he's thinking his fighting or his winning will be at the expense of others' lives. So that's what he's trying to avoid this conflict, because he thinks that whatever he gets will be at the cost of someone else. So this is the broader mentality.
Not the context, that this is a pattern which is going to happen between two set of others. And that was something that happened 5,000 years ago. So why is it relevant to you and me today? It was a family fight which happened, but why is it relevant to us today? It is relevant to us today because in our lives, even today, every minute, we face a lot of conflict. And we don't, most of us who to turn to after we grow up. When we are small, our parents are there. But when we grow, as and when we grow up, our dependence on them reduces, and we have to find our own way in the world. So this first chapter is defining the conflict. And the more we understand it, we understand that this is defining the conflict that we are facing. To us in Kali Yuga, what we are facing, it will not say exactly the flavor can be different, but the basis of a conflict is the same. And here the conflict is between family members, where the two set of brothers, 100 brothers at one side and 5 brothers on the other side, brought up by the same person. Because Pandu died immediately only when the children were born. All are brought up by the uncle. And this is 5,000 years ago when there was a lot more culture and a lot more unity in the family. But Dhritarashtra is starting the conversation by asking, what did mine and Pandu's sons do? He is not been able to integrate 5 sons in his 100 sons. He is making that distinction in his own mind, which is carried forward to his children. That is where the entire conflict arises.
So next we see Duryodhana is very diplomatic. Diplomacy means you see how I can gain from it. That's why I say I win and you lose. But better than that we win. So win-win situation we call it. So now Duryodhana is also becoming fearful. What is the cause for his fear? Because he knows the strength of the opposite armies. So, two options: you can fight against a stronger person, or make him your friend. So, it's an intelligent way. So, he's trying to assess the armies on both sides and begins a comparison. So, usually we get into this comparative mode, and that's we think is our asset when we try to compare ourselves with some, but it's not always a good proposition. So next we see the blowing of conscience, because these Pandavas have already accomplished many things in their lives. If something is already established, there is no point in trying to avoid it or ignore it. So despite knowing very well that these Pandavas are victorious before, Duryodhana chose to fight against them. So that was another sign of ignorance. And so to confirm that he was fighting against a formidable army, when they blew their conscience, then just like we have a cricketer who's there, his bat is auctioned or something like that, because we think that something has been used by that person, it has some special powers. So similarly, we see this conscience grown by the Pandavas, it created fear in the hearts of the Kauravas. So, and
Yes. So Duryodhana, see, whenever there is a fight or a conflict between 2 sides, what are we trying to do? We are trying to prove that I am right. And not just to others, somewhere we are trying to prove to ourselves also that I am right. So what is the way? Now we see the way the 2 sides are approaching the same problem. Because of their own mentality, the approach to the problem is different. So Duryodhana is drawing strength from numbers. So many people are standing here willing to lay down their lives for it. That is what he's saying. He is not saying, I mean, his claim to fame is the strength that he has. He is drawing strength from Bhishma Pitama, from Duryodhana, from Dronacharya, from Karna. He is drawing strength from others. And he is somehow or the other, they are on his side. So he is saying, and this attitude, it doesn't matter if all of them what is right, what is wrong. On the other side is Arjuna.
now, in contrast to Duryodhana, Arjuna is focusing only on the particulars. He wants to see exactly who he has to face. Now, Duryodhana is concerned, he's seeing the entire army. So, as she said, his fear is also generated by seeing the numbers. But Arjuna, being more focused, he is looking at the leaders whom he has to oppose. But at the same time, that creates a problem for Arjuna. Although it's temporary, it's a problem because of his attachments. What is the problem with his attachment? Attachment to the wrong values. We have to have some values in life, ethics or values of both. But if they are misplaced, then they can lead to a confusion, just like in the case of Arjuna. So Arjuna has these 4 reasons, which we may also be facing. What is the ultimate problem with Arjuna? He came to fight, but then after this reasoning, he decided not to fight. So we say that well begun is half done. Sometimes we begin things with very enthusiastically, but we are not able to carry it forward. Maybe we join for undergraduation, post-graduation, or postdoc, or doctorate. Anything you see, we begin it very enthusiastically, but in the middle of it, we are thinking whether to move forward or where are we going. So this could be the 4 reasons. First one is Arjuna is thinking that of compassion for relatives and the resultant bodily symptoms. The first, it is affecting his bodily condition. So we may also see certain situations start affecting our bodily functions. So what is it? It said that skin disease. Skin disease means I think that someone is related to me by my body, then he is like we see an Indian, he is my member. Someone is not an Indian, doesn't belong to me. So this is known as a skin disease where we put too much emphasis to those related to us, the body or the mind. The next reason he gives is the forcing no enjoyment in victory. What is it in it for? What is it in it for me? So that's what we always think is known as a fruitive mentality. Fruitive mentality means your actions are decided by the results. Beforehand, you think that this is what I want, and unless I get it, my actions are not right or useful. So this may discourage us. Sometimes even by losing, you learn many things which you may not learn by winning. So this the problem is forcing no enjoyment in victory. And the third reason he gives is fear of sinful reaction. Okay, sometimes we are forced to do something even we don't like it. Why we don't like it? Because we are always calculating. Okay, if I do this, yes, I will get this, but in the process I'm losing something. So this fear of sinful reactions. But the point is that any action you do, it is covered by some fault. Nobody can say that I have done my work perfectly. There is bound to be some mistake. So just because there is some mistake, just like a doctor is there, he's performed many surgeries. But it's not expected that every time he will be successful. In the process, he may get some good name, sometimes some bad name, sometimes. That doesn't mean he stops his profession. The fourth reason he gives is harmful effects of destroying the family. So he is not thinking about just a few members. He is thinking on the overall picture. Sometimes by looking at the overall picture also you may get discouraged. So these are some four reasons he cites. So now what we will do, she will just summarize whatever I told also in a different way. Then we will take your questions based on the first chapter. Then.
So we discussed what Duryodhana's mentality was. What is Arjuna's mentality? When he sees that there's so many people are there to fight, he starts thinking, is it necessary? So many lives, some lives will be lost in the war. So many lives will be lost so that we get some piece of land. Is it really necessary? So his heart fills up with compassion. And he tells Krishna, please take the chariot in the middle of both the armies. He is not scared that the other army has much more warriors than we have. The head count is more there than ours. Nowhere it is mentioned in any account of Mahabharata that the Pandav army was scared of the numbers of the Kaurav army. That is not there at all. But he is thinking the futility, and his major dilemma is my family members are here. They have grown up together. Why should we live without them? Do we really want to win this war? Because to win this war, we will have to kill them. And even more important than that, people whom we respect, Guru who has taught us this art, family elder whose father figure who's the patriarch of the family, he is standing opposite me. Can I lift any bow and arrow at them? He is, his heart is thinking like that. And he is thinking, why do I need to fight this war? I know they will not back out. What if I back out? What if I just go to the forest? Or what if I start begging? I don't want anything. He is thinking of giving up so to save lives. Whereas Duryodhana is thinking, I need to win regardless if everybody dies. That is the difference. And these four reasons, Prabhu has already explained, so I am not getting into it. Later, when we are doing the chapters, into particular places, we will tell you this reason that you gave, Krishna has explained over here. That as and when it comes, we will explain. So if anybody has any questions or thoughts or comments, please feel free to ask.
Pass on the mic. So feel free and you can introduce it briefly and also say something what you learned in these three sections or any doubts you have. It's open to all. Anyone can ask and can move to each one of them. Use the mic.
Yeah, he's taken.
staying with you.
ठीक है,
Let them introduce themselves. No harm. I'm first.
Namaskaram, I'm Akshira Sekar. I'm a fourth year meeting student over here doing my engineering and electrical engineering. So I have a question. Usually when I'm doing something wrong or right, I usually see what my parents are suggesting. If they say yes, it's right, or the elders, the teachers, if they say yes, it's right. As a like a suggestion or an option. So over here we can see that Arjuna is facing like opposition from both his teachers, like elder grandparents or the elders he has admired. So how is he so confident that whatever he's trying to do is right or wrong? Like he might have a doubt like this is the super wrong that whatever my elders are telling is completely opposite to what I am thinking to do. This is what I face a lot of times. I think that this is what I should do, but sometimes my parents are like, no, this is not right for you. So how to overcome that dilemma that this thing would be better for me if I start alone and go with my choice rather than their choice. So, Hare Krishna, thank you for your question. It's very relevant, and all of us go through that. In the context of what we just discussed, here Arjuna is seeing Dronacharya and Vishnu Pitama on the other side. But there is no either of the three minds who is on the right side. Vishnu Pitama is bound by his vow that whoever is sitting on the throne, my loyalty will be with that person. On the throne is Dhritarashtra as a caretaker king. And that is why Dhritarashtra is on the side of the Kauravas. So that is why Bhishma Pitama is fighting from the side of the Kauravas. But Bhishma Pitama knows very well what is the right side. So there is Bhishma Pitama is not telling Arjuna or Yudhishthira that you are wrong. He is bound by his own limitations. The same way Dronacharya is also bound by the fact that after teaching them, he took up employment in the kingdom as a guru. He was not an independent guru anymore. He is there for financial reasons. So it's like Naukri mein Shadhi. He has to fight from the side of the king. So, but they both know they are on the wrong side. There's no doubt. There is no account that anybody has told any of the partners that you are wrong. In fact, before the war, these two were fighting in the Rajya Sabha for Pandavas, saying these people have fulfilled all the conditions. Now we have to give them back their kingdom. You are aware of it. So, in the context of you and your parents, see, at your age, we've also gone through it. And the one thing is that our mind tells us right from 2 years old till now, I have seen in any conflict, my mind tells me you are right. I have never seen my mind telling me at any point that you are wrong. Even internally, I know I'm wrong, but the ego is there. No? Ego's work is to say you are right, you are right, you are right. So we will always think we are right. Now it depends on particular situation, but as and when we mature, we learn to respect the wishes or the direction shown by the parents because they have taken the beatings of life. Either we learn from their beatings and follow what they are saying, or we take our own beatings and we learn. So it depends. I know somebody who's in her 20s and who's facing some problems. She was told me, go to your nanny, they will take care of you. I cannot put my problems on them. Because she's on her 20s. By the time she comes on her 40s, she will have to go. So it depends. It's a situational thing. But it cannot be one size fits all in terms of all the time they will be right or all the time you will be right. That is the balance. You have to understand that comes with experience. Thank you.
So anyone else has questions? So one is respectfully agree. Sometimes we have to agree. When you respect someone, we have to agree. Sometimes we have to respect actually disagree also. That's why it says intelligent enemy is better than a foolish friend. So which means we should have valid reasons for either agreeing or disagreeing. Obligation is binding when the effect is good. You have an obligation when you see that the effect is going to be good. Obligation is obligation to obey someone, obligation to agree with someone, collaborate with someone is when it's going to be mutually beneficial. But it is very obvious that it's not going to benefit, then it's intelligent to be disagree with that person. With respect. So sometimes we may have to go against our parents, but that also, as she said, you have to assess properly. Sometimes they may appreciate also later. Initially, you disagree with them. At that moment, it may feel to you that you are wrong, or they may think you are wrong. But later, it may turn out that you disagreed for right purpose. Then they will appreciate. Yes, at that time I disagreed with you, but now I think what you did is right. So that requires some maturity and intelligence. So please, we don't want to move forward unless you understood something. So that's why we stopped at the summary of the first chapter. Everyone else has something to share or ask. So then we will go to the second chapter, it's known as the contents of the Gita summarized. So as we know, Bhagavad Gita has 3 sections. One is perfection through action. There are some people, they are perfect at doing things. So that is one way of attaining perfection, known as karma yoga. But of course, you should be working for the right purpose. So that is discussed in Bhagavad Gita at length in the first 6 chapters. First 6 chapters predominantly is talking about how attaining perfection through work, or karma yoga. And Bhagavad Gita is also talking about jnana yoga. Jnana yoga means perfection through knowledge. Sometimes you're happy with a BTech degree, as long as you get a job, you're happy. But then some person is not happy with the job he's doing. So what he does, he wants to go for higher studies. He wants to understand deeply what he is doing. And that's what gives him satisfaction. He gets satisfaction through knowledge and not just the mechanical way of doing things. So that is Jnana Yoga. This is also discussed in detail in the last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. And then in between, we have Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means you unite both knowledge and action with the devotion. Devotion means we should know how to utilize things properly. Sometimes you have to attain perfection through work, sometimes through knowledge, sometimes both. So this bhakti helps us to combine both this properly. Bhakti means devotion. Devotion means dovetailing. Dovetailing means how to improvise in a particular situation. How to make the best use of our body, mind, and words and intelligence. We have all these faculties, so many things have been provided. This world is ours. There's a famous statement. This world is yours. So this world is created for you to succeed, not to fail. Some people think I'm frustrated because I'm not succeeding, but that's not the way the world has been designed. The world is designed actually that everyone can succeed. So that's what we learn in Bhagavad Gita. But the point is devotion. Bhakti means how do we make the best use of our action and our thought. So these 3 are discussed in this summary form of the second chapter. Just like when a patient comes to the doctor, he is looking for immediate relief. If you tell him a long-term plan that okay, you have to undergo treatment for 6 months, he becomes impatient because I think is it going to take me so long? And but then the doctor assures him, no problem, I will immediately address it, and he addresses it in a certain way. So at least the patient will be somewhat relaxed. So similarly, now Krishna, he cannot speak the entire Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna immediately. So he summarizes what teachings he is going to give in a summary form. Then, as per the interest of Arjuna, when Arjuna wants to go into the specific details, then one by one, Krishna will start elaborating on them. So, first is Arjuna's indecision and accepting Lord Krishna as his Guru. So, when actually, if you see in our life, there seem to be many choices, or sometimes people say, I don't have any choice. But frankly speaking, we have all 2 choices only. And one choice is we make the choice to succeed, And if you make the wrong choice, you fail. Just like you have objective type questions. If you sometimes are given negative marks also, which means you cannot whimsically choose the answer. So basically, the choices in life are very clear. If you have the intelligence, it is very objective. Life is very objective, it's not subjective. You cannot say that this is the reason I could not succeed, and this is the reason I feel I am at a disadvantage. No, there is equal opportunity for everyone to succeed, provided you make the right choice at the right. So ultimately, you see there are two choices. Now, but Arjuna still had this indecision. So what was the cause for his indecision? We already saw these four reasons he had, which made him think that whether to fight or not to fight, whether I'll be victorious or whether I'll lose, whether what I'm doing is pious or sinful, whether it's going to benefit me or it's going to be a loss to me, whether it will uplift my family or it will cause the downfall of my family. So this is how we normally analyze things, but then we still not able to move forward. Just like in the court, go to the court and two lawyers are arguing, and usually this legal battles go on for a very long time, and then it takes considerable discrimination and intelligence on the part of the judge to give a final judgment, and still that sometimes the judgment is debated. So now Arjuna is concerned, he was intelligent to first understand his problem, but still he is not able to solve it, and so he surrendered to Krishna as a disciple. So, but what is the response of Lord Krishna? After till now, you see only Arjuna is talking. Krishna has not started the dialogue. Now, Arjuna having spoken so far and decided, he has almost decided that he is not going to fight. So Krishna is not agreement. Krishna, as I said in the beginning, intelligent enemy is better than a foolish friend. Sometimes when you are doing mistakes, someone has to point out the mistakes. It's not that everyone will start appreciating, just like some politicians are there. The moment they open the newspaper in the morning, all the criticism is there. So you and I, if we see so much criticism, we will just give up. But how they are able to continue forward, because they take it in the positive spirit. Yes, this unless this person criticizes me, positive blunders. So here, Krishna's response was first thing is immediately straight away telling what is wrong with Arjuna. Just like when you go to a doctor, sometimes the doctor has to point out the mistake from outside, and then he can offer this. Otherwise, we will take it for granted. So Lord Krishna chastises Arjuna and disapproves of his so-called compassion. What is the problem with Arjuna? His compassion is misplaced. Just like a doctor is there, he's trying to do a surgery. And if you go tell the family members, I'm going to cut open his heart. Obviously, the family members will think this is cruelty. How can you cut open his heart? But the doctor is doing that surgery for the benefit of the patient. Or sometimes the teacher has to be harsh to the student. There are some coaches who beat the trainee also. So which is better, to allow the patient to die in front of us, or take a bold step to cut open him? So now Arjuna, Krishna chastises Arjuna and disapproves of his so-called compassion. And then Arjuna is not willing to give up. Arjuna is not accepting that he is wrong. So this is what happens if someone points out a mistake with us. We don't give up easily. So Arjuna also puts forward some further reasons. But the more he uses reasons, he gets more confused. So he surrenders to Krishna. What is surrendering means? Surrendering means, as he was saying, that at one point you think that I have to help others make decisions for me. I'm not able to make the right choices. So should I take help from, just like we have a counseling session previously when we joined as a BTech student after the JEE, we used to have a counseling where although we made our choices, someone would advise us as to how to go about making our choices. So here Arjuna surrenders to Krishna because he thinks he can make a better choice for him. Although ultimately Arjuna has to do the fighting. Still, whether to fight or not, and with what spirit he should fight, he's looking for that from Krishna. So then Krishna begins to speak. So till now, Krishna is being a passive listener. He's empathizing with Arjuna. But then he has to correct him and give him proper counsel. So this is a quick summary of what we will be covering today.
Can we show the shloka so that they can also read?
We were thinking that we'll say the shloka and you repeat so that you also learn how to say the shloka and you are awake.
Can we put up the shloka? इसमें होता है? इसमें नहीं होता. निकालना पड़ेगा. Okay, next week onwards we'll do.
The verse is like this. Sanjay Uvacha. Sanjay said. Now, as we said, Dhritarashtra is depending on Sanjay. So how is Sanjay able to see? Both of them are in the assembly, the palace. Dhritarashtra is not able to see, but Sanjay is able to see. How is that? Because Sanjay has been blessed by his Veda Vyasa. And Sanjay Uvacha. Tam tata kripayavishtam. Someone want to repeat after us?
Yeah.
Tam tata kripayavishtam.
Tam tatha kripayavishtam.
Tam tata kripayavishtam.
Tam tatha kripayavishtam.
Ashrupunakulekhanam.
Ashrupunakulekshanam.
Ashrupunakulekhanam.
Ashrupunakulekshanam.
Vishidantam idam vakyam.
Vishidantam idam vakyam.
Vishidantam idam vakyam.
Vishidantam idam vakyam.
Vacha madhusudanaha.
Vacha madhusudana.
Vacha madhusudanaha.
Vacha madhusudana.
So the translation of this is Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudan, Krishna spoke the following words. Now here the word Madhusudan is very important. Like in entire Bhagavad Gita, we will see that there are different names of Krishna which have been used by Arjuna at different points in time, and Krishna also uses different names of Arjuna at different points. Each name has a pastime or a quality attached to it. So that name or that pastime or quality is being invoked for a particular reason. Madhusudan means the killer of the demon named Madhu. And if we see the entire pastimes of Krishna manifested, there is not a single instance where Madhu was killed by Krishna. Then why is he called Madhusudan? Madhu was killed by Vishnu. And Madhu has been described at various, like, there's a demon named Madhu who has been killed by Vishnu. But Madhu means what? Honey. Honey is what? Sweet. So what is the meaning of Madhusudan? What is that sweet thing? I was discussing ego a little while ago. That is the reason I was discussing ego. For each of us, our ego is very sweet. We are very, very happy when our ego tells us you are right. So that Madhusudan, that person who can kill that ego and who can bring us to our senses is Krishna. And that is what Sanjay is invoking over here. He is saying, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind impressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudan, Krishna, spoke the following words. So, and
another meaning is this Madhu is a demon who stole knowledge. Vedas were stolen by Madhu and Kaitava. Sometimes our knowledge becomes stolen, which means we are not able to apply our knowledge, our intelligence properly. So then someone has to guide us. So in that place, Krishna is fulfilling the role of Madhusudan. So here every verse has four parts. First part is Arjuna full of compassion. So that was his actually weakness, but he's thinking it as an asset. And his mind depressed. So that compassion is causing him depression. And because of the depression, his eyes are full of tears. Normally, when our eyes fill with tears, we cannot see anything. So similarly, although he is a great warrior, he has become discouraged so much so that he is not able to see things clearly. In that scenario, Krishna becomes Madhusudana and he speaks up.
we are skipping because we expect that you will read it yourself. Because how much ever anybody explains, unless and until we do self-study, we don't really learn. That is why we have to give exams. No, we attend enough lectures, but we have to give exams so that the lecturer knows whether we understood or not. So we move to the next shloka.
Then and there you can please stop us and ask some questions. So one more point was the compassion. Compassion for supposing a person is drowning and you try to save him. But in the process, the shirt comes as the person drowns. So that is not really worth the effort. So we should know what is really valuable for that person. Suppose you go to a child, for example, it is crying because it doesn't want to go to school. So then still the parents stick with him because they know it is not good for the child. Similarly, you should know what is really good for the other person. Then it is known as proper compassion.
So it is like compassion for the dress of a drowning man. A man is drowning and somebody else is saying, "Arey, that is such an expensive dress that he's wearing." So what a person should be more concerned about? The person or the dress? So we all feel compassion at some point of time or the other. But most of the times our compassion is misplaced because we do not know where to place our compassion. What is the right place to place our compassion?
Okay, so in this chapter, Krishna begins with an analytical study. So just like you go to a shop and you are trying to make a choice, then ideal shopkeeper, what he does, he explains to you all the different features that are available. So now Arjuna is taught about the difference between the soul and the body. Unless these basics are understood, Krishna cannot be able to explain further. So because that, even Krishna can do that, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the second verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Kutasva Krishna Idam. Kutasva Krishna Idam. Vishame Samupastitam.
Vishame Samupastitam.
Vishame Samupastitam.
Vishame Samupastitam.
Anaryadushtam Asvargyam.
Anaryadushtam Asvargyam.
Anaryadushtam Asvargyam.
Anaryadushtam Asvargyam.
Akirti Karamachuna.
Akirti Karamachuna.
Akirti Karamachuna.
Akirti Karamachuna. Why are we repeating whatever was the conversation? Because this is Gita. This is the song of God. These words were spoken by God. So just by repeating, we also get purified.
So here it says Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who possesses Bhaga or opulences. So what are the opulences you can think of? Someone can say, what attracts you to some person? Money, wealth. Someone is wealthy. We become attracted to them. What else? Strength. Someone is very strong person. We get attracted. Knowledge, yeah. Wisdom. A wise person, a very intellectual person. Fame. A person is a famous person. And most important. Beauty. It's a beautiful person, beautiful man, or beautiful woman. We get a beautiful object. We get attracted. And one person says detached. Detached means he has all these 4 or 5, but he's still extending himself to others. Supposing I'm a rich person, okay, that is attractive. But if I share my richness with someone, okay, he's generous. Or he's a very strong person, but he's also interested in helping someone with his strength. A very intelligent person, but he's willing to help others with his intelligence, or his wealth, or beauty, or his fame. Then that is known as detached, renounced. So this someone who possesses this is said to be unlimitedly said to be Bhagavan. So that's what Krishna demonstrated during his presence, that he is Bhagavan. So he is speaking, which means something very important. What is he saying? Kutastva kashmalam. Kashmalam means impurities. Supposing that gold is there. When you add some impurity to the gold, its property changes. Aluminum, for example, aluminum oxide. The moment aluminum is produced, it gets oxidized. So aluminum has such molten aluminum, it is very shiny. That is used for paint industry. But the moment aluminum is oxidized, the glass is lost. So similarly, impurities in our art. What are they? Kutastva kashmana vidam. Where, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Which means you do not tolerate this. Sometimes during the pandemic, for example, each one was very conscious about whether we will be contaminating this virus. So we took all possible precautions because it was going to be very costly. If I cannot afford this in any level of impurity. So now Krishna says this is an impurity in your thinking. Kutastva kashmala vidam vishame samupastitam. And that too at this moment when it cannot be tolerated come from you, they are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. Arya means who knows the value of life. That's why nowadays in many schools or colleges they are talking about value education. Value education helps us to make choices. Suppose you have 1,000 rupees or 100 rupees. You know the value of the 1,000 rupees, so then you can say this is a better than 100 rupee one. So once you know how to give a value to something, then it's easier for you to make choices. As she was saying also, how do I make a judgment? So once you know how to assign values, then it becomes easy to make choices. So they are not at all defeating a man who knows the value of life. And what is the last one? Akirti Karam Arjuna. First of all, Anali Aswargyam. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. So normally, just like why did you come to IIT? You could have studied the same thing somewhere else. There's some place value in IIT. You get a degree from IIT, it's different from getting a degree from somewhere else. So normally we associate a place with some value. So generally it was thought that if you go to higher planets, your standard of living is going to be much better, and people around you are also being of that high standard. Very unlikely that you do mistakes. Just like why people go abroad, because the opportunities are there. Even if a person is not performing well here, he's likely to perform better because the environment is different. So in higher planets, they are very likely that the best will come out of you. But Krishna says, if you start thinking like this, your future is not going to be bright. What about your present? He says, Akirti Karam Arjuna. It will bring you only infamy. People will blaspheme you. Your mistakes will become very obvious.
So here, what is important is we will see that in entire Bhagavad Gita, nowhere it is mentioned Sri Krishna Ovach. Everywhere it is mentioned Sri Bhagwan Ovach. There is absolutely, it is establishing from the beginning that Krishna is God. So here it is starting Sri Bhagwan Ovach, and what is Krishna saying? He is trying to help Arjuna by saying that from where these impurities have come unto you, they are not befitting a man who knows the value of life. And here he is addressing Arjuna as Parth.
No, not in Krishna. He's actually addressing as Arjuna only. Okay. So here he is saying that it is not befitting a man who knows the value of life. Because like we are all in IIT as students, that is of course an achievement. But along with that comes a responsibility that we have to behave in a certain manner within the institute and also when we are outside. With authority or with recognition comes responsibility also. So that we will see in the next shloka.
So another point which is mentioned here is whenever we say someone is an authority, just like we are saying Krishna is the authority for Arjuna. So someone may say, I have many authorities. I cannot just accept one authority. For example, in my home, the parents are authority. Once I'm in the college, maybe the professor or the guide is the authority. So like that, we generally accept many authorities. That's what we think when it comes to God also. There must be many gods. So that is one perception. And some people go a little further and so no, there cannot be many gods. There can be only few. Like the Paramatma feature, they say that localized aspect. Just like we also know, there will be many professors, but only some qualify to be the head of the department or whatever. Then going further, we can say there can be only one director. You cannot say, although there may be many departmental heads, the director has to be only one. So this is a higher conception when it comes to understanding the relative authorities. At one level, we can accept many authorities. The next level becomes fewer. Finally, it should come to only one authority. So here, if Arjuna had the battlefield, if he had asked opinions from many people, like a democratic system, he would not have moved forward. He conclusively accepted only Krishna. Of course, he could have asked Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, or anyone, but or he could have simply depended on the majority. He could ask the majority from the warriors. No, he didn't do that. Neither did he go to whom he considered. He straight away came to Krishna. So that's how when we have problems, some problems we can solve by taking general opinion. Some problems we have to approach specific people. And for more serious problems, we have to go to only one person. Just like we go to many doctors, many lawyers, then we become more confused. Then we have to stick to one person. So similarly, now Arjuna has a serious problem, so he has not much choices. He has to only approach Krishna. So in that sense, Bhagavad Gita is giving the ultimate solution, which you may not find in other scriptures or Puranas. Okay. Any doubts, comments, please. We'll stop here before we proceed. Feel free to ask. You can also contribute something. It's not that only we speak and you hear. Definitely, each one of you must be knowing something which can help us to understand the subject better. Yes. Same.
The first is Bhagavan Arjuna. So I have already had this doubt in mind. We always say Krishna was the avatar of Vishnu. And then when I read the scriptures and say Krishna is the supreme Lord. He is like above, he is whatever everything is. So where does Vishnu comes in? How can I correlate the avatar of Vishnu and Krishna being the supreme? It just confuses me a lot.
So actually Krishna has many expansions and finally it comes to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. This is explained in detail in the Bhagavad. Because Vedavyasa has written many Puranas. Puranas means history. Just like if you study our history, we come across many personalities who did many things. And we associate them with whatever they accomplished. So he wrote some Puranas where it is highlighted. Those Puranas talk about what Lord Shiva accomplished and why he is great. And some Puranas, the Kurma Purana, different Puranas are there. And some Puranas establish Vishnu as supreme. But then even after he wrote these Puranas, it is possible that people will get confused. So then his spiritual master, Narada Muni, came and told him to write the Bhagavata Purana to establish conclusively who is the source of all these three. And so it's a Keshava. Keshava means Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So Krishna, why? Because only there are 5 types of relationships we have in this world. If you analyze carefully, one is passive. Passive means neutral. We don't know that person doesn't know me. So that is one kind of Santa Rasa, it is called. Santa means we don't have a specific relationship except for a general, just like we say all students, maybe that's a general relationship we have with others. The next is Dasya. Dasya means servant. In the case of Vishnu, they have this master-servant relationship. That is Dasya Rasa. The next Rasa is Sakya Rasa, friendship. So normally, with Vishnu, you cannot have a friendly relationship. Whereas when Lord Krishna comes, we see the cowards and all the gopis, we could have a friendly relationship. The Sakya Rasa. And then there's no instance where someone is the parent of Vishnu. Of course, Vamanadev also a form of Vishnu and he had parents. But even Narasimha, we don't see Narasimha accepting someone as a parent. Of course, Lord Rama comes, Lord Rama's also special case is not considered in the Vishnu category. But generally, the Vishnu forms, like Varahadev is there, Matsya is there. These forms don't have any parents. So, in the sense that this Vatsalya Rasa is called parental relationship, that is not possible with Vishnu forms. And but next higher than that is Madhurya, a conjugal relationship. The people could marry Krishna, the wives, 16,000 wives. Not that they were willing to marry Krishna because they thought that if we marry someone else, our life will not be as good as marrying Krishna. Of course, so this is the superiority of Krishna is established on this basis that these 5 types of relationships are possible only with Krishna and not with other forms of Vishnu.
So Vishnu and Krishna, let's say a judge, a high court judge is there. When he is in the court, he is a judge. That is, he is in office. The same person when he goes home, he is even, playing horse to his young son or grandson. The same thing is when God is in office, he is Vishnu. Like chief minister is Vishnu. Of each universe has his own Vishnu. That is like a chief minister. He is Vishnu. But God at home is Vrindavan. He's playing. He's God. He doesn't have work to do. He's playing. He's playing with the cows, with the cows, with gopis. He's dancing. He's playing. That is God. Won't we all also want that? Or kuch nahi karne ko. That or all we want to do is have fun, relax, go somewhere, eat something like. If we want that, where does it come from? It comes from Him. And why will He have any work to do? He's God. So that is Krishna. That is Avatari. He is Leela Purushottam. So here is the shloka which you can see. This is the proof that Krishna is the Avatari. This is spoken by Brahma. This is called Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita is Brahma's Stuti, where Brahma is praising God and he is certified. Brahma is the Dhamma. Brahma is the creator of the universe. We all know that. So if Brahma is saying he is God, we accept he is God. We accept the authority of our Father. He is Father for all living beings in the universe. He is saying Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Anadir Adir Govinda. He is saying Ishvara Parama Krishna. Param Ishwar Krishna hai. And what he is defining? Sachidananda Vigraha. He has a form, Vigraha. We have deities here, Vigraha. And what are the qualities? Sachit and Anand. And Anadi and Adi. He is without any beginnings, Anadi. And he is Adi. He is the beginning. Who is the Govinda? Sarva Karana Karana. Anything that happens in the world, we are always looking for reasons. We have this habit in the corporate world to do root cause analysis. We keep on calling it RCA karna padega. The moment something happens, RCA karna padega. So when we arrive at the root cause, which we get satisfied with, that is on a very superficial level. If we keep on digging, the cause of all causes is Govinda. Sarva Karana Karana. So he is certifying over here. There is one. This is Bhagavatam. This is in the first canto of Bhagavatam, third chapter. As you know, Bhagavatam has 18,000 shlokas. In the beginning, the avatars are just being defined. These are the avatars. After that definition, this is said. Ete Chasha Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyapadam Lokam Ridayanti Yage Yage.
Okay, so Just like the example is given of the moon. The moon, full moon is there, it is in its brightness. So when Krishna performs his pastimes, it is complete. Whereas the forms of Vishnu, they accomplish a specific purpose, like Singdev came, he was there for that particular pastime. And then Vara, he accomplished that and that's it. Whereas just like the moon is there, it's in its full brightness. Whereas the other phases of the moon, from the new moon till the different phases, is partial light. So that's why we say Krishna is Purnavatar. So here another important point here is Arya and Anarya. Arya means one who knows the value of life. We say that Hitler, he propagated this Aryan supremacy. The swastika symbol he adopted from our Vedas only. But Aryan, everyone is Aryan because we belong to God. The definition of Aryan is one who belongs to God, and that's why every living entity belongs to God. Provided he makes use of that relationship. Supposing you're a son of a very rich person, that's for your advantage, but you can also misuse it. So Arya means who makes the best use of his life by understanding his relationship with God and how he has to understand and follow the scriptures. Anarya means who goes against his own good. He goes against God or against the scriptures or against saintly people, that becomes Anarya, and that's he loses the good opportunity that has been provided. So if there are no further questions, we go to the third verse and stop. Yeah, one question.
So I just want to ask, what is the difference between Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita?
Very good.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita is spoken by God. Bhagavatam is spoken about God. Of course, in Bhagavatam also you can hear Bhagavan speaking. But here, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself directly spoke to Arjuna. And in the case of Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, who is a devotee of the Lord, he is speaking about Bhagavan. So that's why it's known as Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is about God, spoken by his devotee, Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit. And Bhagavad Gita is the word of God, a song of God. But they're basically to help us understand. First, Bhagavad Gita basically is telling us to understand our relationship with God, not as Sambandha Jnana. So through this, we can basically understand. But once we know what is the relationship, how to act, you see some case histories. Supposing I explain this, everything. Then I take some case studies. Then you understand what I taught better. So Bhagavad Gita is one level, but how to practice Bhagavad Gita you can see in the Bhagavatam. How God exactly relates with his devotees, how the devotees relate with material nature, other living entities, how they function in time. All this you can theory put into practice in the Bhagavatam.
So Bhagavatam is talking about the Dashavatars, talking about God, talking about devotees. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between God and Arjuna. And that is on the battlefield of Kurukshetra just before the war started.
So as we said, the Vedavyasa first divided the Vedas. Vedas means knowledge. Rig, Sama, Yajna, Atharva Veda. Then he wrote the Puranas, 18 Puranas. And in that, after writing the Puranas, then he wrote Itihasas. Itihasas means epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. And Upanishads. There were 108 Upanishads. But even after writing this, he thought that there will be to write more books also, people get more confused. So then Narada Muni asked him to summarize the whole Vedas in the form of a Bhagavad. So Bhagavad Gita is part of the Mahabharata, which is part of the Itihasa, the epic, and Bhagavatam is part of the Puranas, theory and practice.
One more question. Did Arjuna know that Sri Krishna is like the Supreme Lord? Or who knew that yes, he is the avatar of Vishnu, he is the Supreme Lord?
Yeah, so that we will see in the 10th chapter. Of course, he knew that, not that he knew just then. He is related to Krishna in previous birth, many births before. So for him, it need not be reminded. But for our benefit, you can see in the 10th chapter, Arjuna is quoting authorities on this subject. how do we accept Krishna? Based on the scriptures. Scriptures are given by Veda Vyasa. From that, the conclusion of all the scriptures is Ete Chamsa Kalapam, so she just read it out. So from scriptures we can come to that conclusion. And second, the sages like Narada, Sita, Devana, and Vyasa. So these are celestial sages. Celestial means they never die. Even if you see the night sky, you can see that 7 stars. They are a great bear constellation, Saptarishis we say. So one of them, these sages are eternal sages. So they have also concluded, said that Krishna is Bhagavan. And most important, Krishna himself is saying Bhagavan. Supposing someone comes and says he's the director. You know for sure if he's not the director and he's claiming to be a director, he's going to be in trouble. So, but if he's really the director, definitely he's confidently say, yes, I am. So if Krishna is able to say that he is Bhagavan, then he must have some authority. Otherwise, what is see at the end of the Mahabharata, this war, they emerged victorious because God himself was leading them. So Arjuna knew it, but to establish Krishna as the Supreme Lord, the war was required. So these are the 3 ways. One is from scriptures, one is from authorities like the sages, and Krishna himself declaring that he is the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we'll take one more verse and then stop the day, session for day. The third one, let's see this. Klaivyam Vasma Gamah Partha.
Klaivyam Masma Gama Partha.
Klaivyam Vasma Gamah Partha.
Klaivyam Masma Gama Partha.
Naitat Vaipapajyate.
Naitat Vaipapajyate.
Naitat Vaipapajyate.
Naitat Vaipapajyate.
Shudram Hridaya Dhaurvalyam.
Shudram Hridaya Daurvalyam.
Shudram Hridaya Dhaurvalyam.
Shudram Hridaya Daurvalyam.
Yakto Tishta Parantapa.
Yakmo Tishtha Parantapa.
Yakto Tishta Parantapa.
Yakmo Tishtha Parantapa.
Usana Buddha is saying, Partha. Partha is trusted. Krishna is establishing an affectionate relationship with him. Suppose you want to explain something to someone, you establish first a friendly relationship, affectionate relationship. So repeatedly we see Krishna addressing Arjuna by different names. So first he says, son of Buddha. Buddha means his aunt. Kunti is the aunt of Krishna, whose son is Arjuna. So he says, O son of Buddha, Masma Gama Partha Klaivyam. Do not yield to this degrading importance. Importance means you are not able to do what you should be doing, what you can do, you are not able to do. So this will degrade you. Although you are capable of much more, you are incapacitating yourselves. So why is that? Naitastvai upapadyate. It does not become you. Which means you can never allow this to happen to you. What is that? Shudram Hridaya Dhaurvalyam. Give up this petty weakness of heart. Shudram. Shudram means petty. So when we start giving value to something which is not valuable, something is waste, and but you try to make it some valuable thing, it is not. Shudram Hridaya Dhaurvalyam. So where is it coming? This weakness of heart. So what is the weakness of heart? One is this anarthas. Anarthas means, artha means something valuable. Anartha means something which is not really valuable. You think it is valuable. So that cause for the weakness of heart. And another is ignorance. Ignorance, when we don't know something, then our heart becomes weak. So what is this? How is he encouraging Arjuna? Tyakto Tishta Parantapa. Parantapa means to chastise of the enemy. So our enemy is our mind. Nobody is our friend or nobody is our enemy. Our mind makes us feel someone as my friend and someone as my enemy. That we'll see in the 6th chapter also. So Krishna is telling chastise of the enemy. You It is our responsibility to correct our mind. Because ultimately, you cannot blame our mind. We are responsible for the way we think and act. So he's saying you chastise the enemy, which is your mind, or which is Arjuna was able to do before, but right now he's not doing it.
So here Krishna is addressing Arjuna as Pritha. Pritha means, O son of Pritha. Pritha is Kunti. Kunti is Krishna's Bua. She is Vasudev's sister. So she is related to Krishna, Krishna in that manner. So he is addressing Arjuna as O son of Pritha. So he is bringing out the relation, the which is a natural love and affection relation. And at the end, he is saying Paranta, that means chastiser of enemies. So Arjuna is a established warrior. It is not the first war that he is facing. So, and he is a famous warrior. He is an established warrior. So he is trying to bring out that quality of Arjuna by saying, "Oh, chastise," and by saying Parth, he is not only bringing out the loving relation between Krishna and Arjuna, he is also bringing out the responsibility because you are that mother's son. So you have a responsibility. You know the value of life. That is why you are an Aryan, and you are already a established chastiser of enemy, Paranta. So you give up this weakness. He is saying this is a degrading importance. It is not of, because he is trying to tell him that the compassion that you are having is misplaced. We will see later why it is coming out as a misplaced compassion.
Another point is the mentioning the purport. We'll share this book with you. This entire book, 1,000 pages, available. Soft copy is also available in the printed form. You can take both of them.
We encourage you to
And the
buy.
summary notes also we'll be sharing soon. But here, one important point is Kshatriya. Kshatriya means one has to protect others from harm. So already his duties were well defined for Arjuna. And if he fails to perform the duty, just like you're supposing you're a doctor and you're not doing a medical profession, or you're a lawyer and you're not functioning like a lawyer, or you're an engineer but you're not functioning like an engineer, you're inviting your own ill family. So that's why Krishna is chastising Arjuna that you're failing to perform your duty, because duty means something is not optional. Supposing this laptop is there, if it doesn't function like a laptop, it is failing in its duty. A mobile is there, if it's not functioning like a mobile, it fails to perform its duty. So duty means it's not something optional. Each one of us is very unique. God has created for us for a very unique purpose. There's something which I can do and you cannot do, and something which you can do but I cannot do. Everyone has a unique role to play in this society, indispensable. So, but if we don't recognize that, then we are causing our own weakness. Okay, now please feel free, each of you introduce yourself and ask some question or make some comment. Quickly pass the mic one by one. We want to do.
So classes going on.
My question is that you told that here everyone has some purpose. That's why God has created. So, what is that purpose? If we'll see, then if we get the moksha, then it's the end. We are going to get summoned into the Lord. So, is that the unique thing that you are talking about, or if it is something else, then we are not going to get summoned in the Lord, and then again we have to do this. So, what is that unique thing that you are
So the purpose is just like if you ask what is the purpose of the institution, I can give you in a very elaborate way and explain all the departments and everything. So like that, the scriptures give an elaborate description of what is the purpose of each of us. Each of us can or cannot do all of them. But then what is my specific role that you only can identify? I give you, present before you all the choices. But the ability to make the choice is given to each of us. So now, like how you became whatever you are, choices were present to you throughout life. But at every step, only ultimately the choice is made by you. So the scriptures give us the purpose for the entire creation. They tell what all possibilities are there for each of us to do. But then we have to apply our intelligence, we take guidance from the scriptures, and then like we go to the doctor and he prescribes some medicine. So like that, there are some prescriptions given clearly by which we can say that this is my purpose. Just like for Arjuna, his purpose was to fight. And it was already defined. A Kshatriya is supposed to fight. But how to fight, why to fight, that purpose he also got from hearing the Bhagavad Gita. Still, Krishna didn't fight for him. He only had to fight. So the scriptures will give us the broader purpose. The specific purpose only we have to decide. That independence God has given to each of us. Ultimately, the purpose is to give us three things. One is happiness. The way the world has been divided is ultimately to make all of us happy. So if something you are not getting happiness, means your purpose is lost. First thing. Second thing is whatever we do, we have full knowledge about. We should be fully convinced about what we are doing. So the purpose of another purpose is to get knowledge. And third purpose is something it should be eternal. It's not something for some time I do some knowledge and some happiness. No, I want eternal knowledge, eternal happiness. So these three purposes, these are the three main purposes for anyone and everyone. Purpose for anything, it should give us happiness, it should give us knowledge, and it should something which is long lasting and not temporary, because we are permanent. So all these details are given in the scriptures, but specifics we have to work out. Yes.
So there are two things you mentioned. One is what is the purpose of our life? The purpose, each of us are here for a specific purpose. The larger purpose is that we need to, this is not our place. We are like fish out of water. That is why we are always in anxiety, always in tension. That song is there, that is true for all of us at any point in time. We are always anxious, we are always dissatisfied because this is not our place. This is not where we belong. If you take fish out of water and you give it a nice pastry, you give it a nice AC room, the fish will not be happy. That is our situation. We keep on looking for happiness in so many places. We want maybe a good degree, a good job, a good house, good wife, good children. But at the end, we are still not happy. First of all, the struggle is so much to get all that you start thinking, is it worth it? And finally, when you get it, you're still not happy. So, what is it that you're looking for? Because we are not looking in the right place. That I can tell you now, but if you realize it, your is always better. And the second thing you said was merging. Ultimately, we get merged and we merge, then that is the end. Firstly, we do not merge. That is explained very nicely in Bhagavad Gita. When we come to fourth chapter, it will become very clear. We do not merge. We as individuals always remain. And if we leave the material world, it is not the end, it is the beginning. What is, because we don't know about the other world, we don't know what to expect, we have not heard of it, and our entire education system does not teach us. It only gives us information, it doesn't give us any knowledge. So we don't know. That is the reason we don't know what is there. So we think if we do this, it is the end. Like if you have come to IIT, do you want to spend the rest of your life in IIT as a student? You will have to leave. Do you think that is the end? That is the beginning. You have come here to qualify for something so that you can fulfill your purpose of life. That same way, we all have come to this world to qualify for something so that we can make ourselves successful, our meaning. And even the beauty is, this is not like the means or the path is as important as the goal. So even when we are the meaning
the path itself can become very, very meaningful. It need not be that because my goal is meaningful, my path doesn't matter. The path also matters. That is the difference between spirituality and materiality. Like you can be a very good, you have come here to study. All of you have to keep on giving exams, quizzes. You can decide to cheat or you can decide to study and get. So the results will not show whether you cheated or whether you studied and gave. It will just show this is the amount of marks you got. That is the material world. In the spiritual world, the means are as important as the end. How you are approaching the end determines whether you get the end or not. And merging is not what is happening. Merging is not our goal. We will always remain individuals. If I can tell you, but I don't know whether you'll be able to digest it now. It has to come to you with evidence because all our life we have heard this. Moksha matlab merging. So now to suddenly get a new thought, I'm just putting the thought in your mind and gradually we will explain it as and when with the evidence, as and when it comes. Is that okay?
You have a last question?
It might sound silly, but I want to ask that you told about the unique purpose. So, is that purpose same for our soul and for us, or it is different? Is our soul has different purpose, we have different purpose, or both are the same?
Who am I?
So the soul and the body can never be separated. Even when you go to the spiritual world, there will be a different type of body. So there are some things for the body, something for the mind, something for the soul. Just like I came here, I drove my vehicle. I am eating because I ate food, I could drive it properly. So that is food for me. Similarly, the vehicle also has its own food, which is the petrol or the fuel. So like that, some things we need to fulfill the needs of the body, we have to fulfill the needs of the mind, we have to fulfill the needs of intelligence, we have to fulfill our ego, we have to fulfill our soul. So those needs are, but at the same time, we should know how to prioritize things. What is the need for the soul? That cannot replace the need for the body. Supposing I make you hear this course forever and not feed you, then you're going to be upset with me. Body is always going to be there. So, but at the same time, supposing you are a dying person and you are not in a condition to eat anything, but still you can hear because that is satisfying the soul. So the scriptures tell us how to fulfill these different needs. For 5 levels of the one is means everyone have this basic necessity to subsist on food because everyone has a body, it will be in an ant or a plant or whatever it may. It needs food. That is Annamaya portion it is called. Then what is the next level? That is Pranamaya. Why are we eating? We want to live. So that is the next level. We have to see what will help me to live longer. Then we have Manomaya. Okay, it's not enough that I am alive, but I need some satisfaction to my mind. So we give a lot of importance to my mind. That is Manomaya. Next is Jnanamaya. Okay, I have my mind, but I also seek knowledge. Then Vijnanamaya means you want to apply that knowledge. There are many people who have knowledge, but they don't know how to apply it. So this is one level. So then after that also we need Anandamaya. This happiness. So all these are explained in the scriptures, how to satisfy all these. Otherwise, if you artificially jump to happiness, you want only happiness, I don't want to care about my mind, I don't care about my knowledge, then you go up and down, you keep fluctuating. So the scriptures are very practical, and the Acharya is also practical, Lord Krishna himself very practical, how to fulfill these different needs in the proper way. If you do that, then you will be wholesome, the life will be wholesome. So that we will see in the Bhagavad Gita also. Later Krishna is talking about different foods to eat, all that in charity, how to perform, austerities, how to perform, how to speak, how to talk, walk, everything is giving all the details, which means there are different needs to be fulfilled in different ways. So there's a need for the soul. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop there.
Any other questions on it?
I don't know if all your questions are addressed, what you may not have spoken, but be assured that as you read through the Bhagavad Gita several times, more doubts will come and more answers you will find. It's our personal experience and hope that will be the case with you. It's just like one kind of advertising. But yes, there are some questions and there are some answers. But be rest assured that as you read this more and more, whatever questions you didn't have also will come up, which you need to know. And then they will be addressed properly. And as someone placed, Bhagavatam will give more details, more specifics you can find in the Bhagavatam and other scriptures. So thank you all for joining us. And we do one round of chanting. Because as I said, the sound is the source of all knowledge. Now we just elaborated the knowledge by talking to you and giving all this. But ultimately, sound has the knowledge in the seed form. Just like you go to a doctor, he gives some capsule because you are not healthy. Actually, you became sick because you didn't eat the right food. Sometimes people can cure themselves by food also. So this is like eating proper food, Bhagavad Gita and all. But supposing you are not in a condition to digest food and you come in a very sick condition, the mantra will work. So that's why we chant this Maha Mantra, by which we can get more benefit while you read these books of knowledge. So we'll give this beads. Beads are basically to three purposes. One is to keep count of what you're doing. Just like you associate numbers for, if you want to say something of some value, you have to give some number. So similarly, we chant a certain number of times. To keep count of how many times we are chanting, we have this beads with 108 number of beads. And secondly, a sense of touch is the most distracting. Supposing someone comes and touches you, you get distracted. So when you sense the beads, that will help us to practice sense control. And then we have to chant properly. We have to tell out the words of the mantra because it goes back into a ear. What you are saying through your mouth goes back to the ear and it enters your heart. And then you feel happiness, you get knowledge, because everything knowledge is there within our heart, within our happiness is there in our heart. So this, when you chant, you hear it and you sense the beats, then gradually the mind will be controlled. What does mind control mean? Doesn't mean stopping the mind. The mind has to be channelized. So this will help you to channelize the mind and navigate through the purpose of life. So
This is what you want.
yeah. So mainly we have a central bead, and besides that you hold the next bead and use your middle and thumb finger. These different fingers, if you combine together, you have different effects. They're known as mudras. Mudras means they have produced different effects. But you use this middle and thumb finger because it is the best for spiritual life. Using these two fingers, you hold to the bead next to the central bead and chant one time this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Elaborate scriptures explaining what is the meaning of this mantra, what is the effect of this mantra, how it doesn't require any qualification. Anyone and everyone at any condition can chant all the details. Right now we are not giving. But just like you take a medicine, even if you don't know what it is, as long as it's prescribed by someone. So we chant this Maha Mantra on each bead. Like that, we chant 108 times. You can do more. We do nearly 16 times, 16 into 108 for many years. So before we chant 108 times, we chant also what known as the Panchatattva Mantra. Tattva means truth, 5 truths. These 5 personalities, they help us to understand God, devotion better. So, since we don't know them, we simply chant their names. So we'll repeat this mantra once, then 108 times the Maha Mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So thank you all for patiently being with us. We have one last section, the Arati. So someone was asking why this program could be so long. It's only our eagerness to give you all-round benefit. So each of these 5 aspects have benefit. If you do simply Kirtan also, you can get benefit. Like in the beginning of the session, we had some singing. By singing also, you can get perfection. So we will do next week, we'll try to have a singing session only, singing and a little bit talk. And another is we read the Bhagavad Gita. So that is also you can get perfection just by Bhagavad Gita study also. For some people, that may also not be possible. Then we chant this mantra meditation. With this itself, you can attain perfection. Okay, not these 3. Then 4th one is just doing Arati. You can do Arati and attain perfection. Cannot do these 4 also. Then just take prasadam and attain perfection. So that is the 5 types of perfection. So that's why we have all these parts in the program. You feel comfortable whichever one you want to attend, you are welcome. But ideally for all. Okay, we will conclude this session with an Arati. Arati means offering. We have so many things where God has gifted to us. Nature has gifted us so many things. And how do we reciprocate with material nature or God? To offer as a gratitude, just like a child is there. If it comes and gives you back something to you, then you appreciate its gratitude. So our way of expressing gratitude is God is offering some items, just a symbol of gratitude. So he will be doing that while that we'll be singing one song. It is actually in Bengali, but it doesn't matter. As long as in future sessions we'll explain what that song means. Just to hear, sing along if possible. And that will be for 10-15 minutes. And then so you can stand up and maybe put aside the chairs.
Vishnu Krishna
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राग कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, द्वारका धाम की जय, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ धाम की जय, गंगामय यमुनामय की जय, तुलसी देवी बाकी देवी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे और गौरी सुदर्शन कृष्ण और गौरी सुदर्शन कृष्ण और गौरी सुदर्शन कृष्ण और गौरी सुदर्शन गौरंगा। Please start. Thank you again for joining us. Please come again next week. As I said, mostly it will be a Kirtan program, usually a little bit explanations. Please join us for the Prasad.
So next week is the weekend, just
So, you, Krishna, he's chanting something. Just give him 5 minutes after. Can you take this out? Can you get this? I want to go. Switch it off.
We recommended like 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
If you remember.
yeah, spoke to me.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you? What are you doing?
Construction contract.
Okay.
I'm from London. I live in London.
Oh, very fun. So, did you get the message for this program? Or?
Yes. Getting a small. Every time I enter, they ask me kind of what program is going or kind of mail.
Okay, better you do anything. You take one contact with this professor.
Yeah, I took his number last week, but they are asking like you need a email or something to be sent to the securities in order like it is going every week.
Okay.
They let me in. Last time also they condition they let me. Nine eight 46819.
Just to remain.
The message. No, the other gate. Main is supposed to be unannounced. Yeah, those from the entrance itself. Entrance. Police. I suppose they were police. Not police.
Just tell him to I'm going to.
Yes, they let me in every time, but every time it's a trouble. Kind of they say like if it is regular.
Not coming different. So
Yeah, yes. If it is regular, they ask like put a mail to the security so that with the list of names whoever is coming to.
तो ये ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि मतलब जैसा अगर
मैं दिखाएगा ये WhatsApp में भी
तो फिर
Prakachita Katham Sanchare.
Yeah, I think even by
இந்த லேப்டாப் இங்க இல்ல
Yeah.
बंद कर दूं ना ये, बंद कर दूं ना।